and I'm not in control of the circumstances that could make things better, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I keep beating my head against the same wall, waiting for something to change, but all of the vehicles of change are beyond my control. Meanwhile, I'm sinking.
Okay, definite loss of control. He
Mhm.
feels that for
Powerless.
Sure. Absolutely powerless.
Powerless.
Yes.
Yeah.
He feels there are no resources for him. There's nowhere else to go.
Yeah. And when I think back of the things he said before, that powerless message was there that we didn't pick up on.
Okay.
But I think it was there. If you think back of all the things he said, that message of feeling powerless
We just missed it.
was there, and we didn't talk about it. We didn't see it.
Right.
And it took us 4 or 5 times to hear it. But I think that's often how counseling goes.
Right, because it's not scripted. It's not
Yeah.
written right there
Yeah.
for you to see.
Yeah, and I've had people tell me something 20 times at least, and I think, how could I have not seen that? Now it's so clear. That's what they were trying to tell me. And I never saw it. I never understood it. But I think that sense of powerlessness seemed to come through really strong, and when you look back, it was there.
Yes, you're right. And the next thing is,
So
how does he get beyond that?
Yeah, so the frustration is around feeling powerless, because that's what he started with, I think, was
Yes.
feeling frustrated.
Frustrated, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And everything was on him and he couldn't change it, which is
Mhm,
powerless, right?
mhm,
Yes.
mhm. So, see, I would probably do something really simple, like that sense of powerlessness can be so frustrating,
Okay,
and just there.
okay.
Because hopefully we're in tune now. It doesn't have to be about work or the economy. It's the feelings,
It's the feelings.
and that's what we're focusing on, is him exploring and understanding his feelings before he can start looking at, okay, what am I going to do about this? We know he's not going to change the economy.
No,
So he's going to have to look at, how am I going to cope with this better? But he has to really understand what's going on first before he can start looking at that. Okay?
okay.
Okay.
I get the sense that this feeling of powerlessness is the greatest cause of your anxiety.
Yeah, okay.
Do you need to add anything to that?
So, yeah, I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm powerless. It makes me anxious. What do you want me to say?
Okay, so he kind of confirmed that that's
Right.
the issue that's affecting him.
Yes.
And he sounds frustrated that he wants somebody, us, to fix it.
Yes. Yes, I get that. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? Where do you want me to go? He's been asking that from the very beginning. You know, it's like, what now? What now? What now? So now we have to get him to make the decision, what now? So how do we bring that up?
So, a few things you can do is just reflect back. You've been looking for ways to cope with this, and nothing you've tried works.
Right.
Okay. You can say, you're coming to talk to us hoping that there will be a solution that comes out of this. See where he goes with that. He might say, well, of course I know you're not going to be able to fix the economy or whatever, but it's then a bit clearer about that he understands our role and expectations. So that would be also a way you might look at it. And you could say, so it sounds like now you want to look for some ways to cope better with this situation where you feel powerless. So there's kind of 3 different ways you could go there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, Jeff, it looks like that you have come to us for direct answers to your problem, to solve your problems.
Well, I mean, I don't expect you to be able to solve my problems unless you want to come into the shop and spend a few $100,000, but, it's not like you can solve this problem. It's just I need to figure out some way of being able to get past it, just to not have it weighing on me all the time, so that I can focus on getting more done.
So I think that was good in terms of helping us to feel he understands our role.
Yeah, a little better.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
still looking for help, but not necessarily with his finances or his family, or
Yeah.
just basically with his feelings and how he can get his mind clear so he can carry on and do a better job. Okay, so we've got that much, pretty much at the root of the problem. How do we get him?
So what I heard him say is, okay, I know you're not going to fix it. I need to find some ways to cope with this.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be the thing to reflect back on.
What he
So-
has for coping skills?
Well, yeah, maybe it's time to explore some of the ways, some of the skills you have for coping with this. Sounds like you're ready to try to look for some solutions. It sounds like you really want to find some other ways of coping with this.
Okay. It seems that you're looking for different ways to use your coping skills, or use different coping skills.
Yeah, I guess. Like anything that would just help me get rid of the feeling of being stressed out all the time. If I wasn't so stressed out all the time, I could probably do better in sales. I'd probably do better at, talking to my wife and dealing with her concerns without flying off the handle.
Sounds
Yeah.
like the beginning of him finding some solutions, eh?
It does, yes, it does, because there's some specifics he's mentioned, like he might be a little short on the temper when he gets home after dealing with his frustrations at work. And as he said, he doesn't want to fly off the handle, and he wants to be able to manage the stress better at work.
So maybe what's important is to make sure we really understand that clearly by getting him to tell us a little bit more about it. So, because we can make all kinds of assumptions about what that all is.
Right. We have
But
no
it's
idea.
not about what we think. We need to know really what's going on with this kind of bad mood, or being prickly, or
Right.
difficult to be around. I'm not exactly sure how to phrase it, but to kind of understand that a bit more.
I'm hearing a little more than just some frustration. There seems to me that it's gone into anger.
At times, yeah. I'm not proud of it. It doesn't accomplish anything to get mad. It's just, it happens.
So he recognizes the anger.
Mhm.
He hasn't expanded on that at all,
Yeah.
but
And I think I would say, so one of the ways you cope with all this pressure is get angry.
okay.
And then if he wants to talk about that anger, he will.
If he doesn't,
If he doesn't,
stick us again.
yeah, he won't, and we
Yeah.
respect that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay?
All right. So you seem to find that you use anger as a coping method.
Well, no, it's just the opposite. I get angry because I'm not able to cope. And if I was coping, I wouldn't get angry.
Okay,
Okay.
so,
So
that,
going back to the frustration,
yeah.
which is obviously the cause of his anger.
Mhm.
But I see that, yes, if you're not coping, you're using anger.
Mhm.
But anger is still a way of coping with your frustration,
yeah.
because that's a vent.
Yeah, yeah, but we have to let him
Yes.
go with his
With his-
perception, how he's feeling.
Mhm.
So what he sees, it sounds like, is I get angry because I'm not coping well with this.
Right. Yes, and that's exactly what he said.
Mhm.
Yes.
So I need to know how to cope better so I don't get angry. If I don't get angry, I'll be more efficient at work perhaps, have a better relationship, feel better about myself, all of that stuff.
Okay.
It sounds like that's what he said to me.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if I put it to him that trying something outside of what he's normally, because we're all habitual, right?
Mhm.
We do the same, so
Mhm.
that can be frustrating as well. You do the same thing over and over again, and it doesn't solve anything.
Mhm.
I would like to tell him, of course, what to do, but it's not my job.
Right.
So
right,
I'm not going
right.
to do that.
But
Probably
it's
get-
interesting that that comes up for you. You know, I want to give him some pointers about how to fix this.
Yes.
And he may or may not kind of find that helpful.
Yeah. Yes, it may not be received very well. It's hard to say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I need him to realize, I guess, that he's repeating himself and doing the same thing all the time. It's not helping. Although I think he actually said that at
Yeah,
one point.
he said my anger gets in the way. It makes it worse.
Yeah, and he's tried over and over and over again to do certain things, but something completely different. Of course, he's here,
Mhm.
which is something completely different. So that's a.
Mhm. I was just going to say, it sounds like he's saying to us, I want to find some ways to cope with my frustration
Mhm.
besides getting angry.
Yes.
And maybe you could just say that.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for some other ways to cope with your anger.
There's exactly where I was going.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Okay.
Okay. It sounds to me like you're looking for different ways of coping with your frustration.
Yeah, just something to diffuse the bomb before it gets out of hand. You know, just a way of. I know that stress is not something that other people put on me. I know stress is something that I put on myself. But I don't know how to not do that. I don't know how to not make myself feel bad if I feel like I'm falling short on my responsibilities.
So I think he told us a lot more.
I think he did.
Yeah. I hope that this clip has been helpful for you to understand more about using the NANNIE method. You can see how difficult it can be for a beginner counselor to apply some of these principles. Sometimes there was a struggle for no fixing